What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and I would like to clear the air with a recent video that I made about Bitcoin, because some of you seem to be misinterpreting what I'm saying here. You read a title that says there's bearish divergence, and all of a sudden you think I'm bearish on Bitcoin. But let's get the facts straight here, you guys. Actually, okay, let's look at this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the charts right now. Okay, so looking at the charts for Bitcoin, okay, we were bearish at the top. I flipped bullish down here at about $113.1 thousand. We went a little bit lower. Flipped bullish, we came up, and then as we got back down to 112K, I've been bearish momentarily, and we've maintained that bearish stance since then, right? We were bearish here because we had the rejection at the prior support, right? We're still bearish now. Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. We didn't time the low perfectly, but I was bullish at 113.1K. I thought that was low. We went a little bit lower. We had this massive move. Thought it was fantastic. And then we came down. And on the way down at about 112K, that's where we shifted the perspective back to we are continuing to go lower, because the long liquidations, they keep piling on. And I've said this plenty of times, if we keep longing as we're going down, we're going to keep moving down. And beyond that, beyond trying to justify whatever it is that I'm trying to justify here, that oh no, I was wrong. Who cares about being wrong? What I'm really trying to say in this video is that some of you think that my most recent video on Bitcoin is me taking a bearish stance. And momentarily, yes, I'm bearish on Bitcoin. Momentarily, I don't think that we're at the low. I think that we are going to go lower, but this isn't new. Not since 112K. That's been the stance we've taken. But I'm not bearish on Bitcoin or this bull market. I do not think the bull market's over. I don't think that at all. We mentioned a 70K target, and I clearly said several times that I don't think we're going down there. I was just talking about what the charts are showing, because it's important to address things. Even if you don't agree with them, even if you don't believe they're going to happen, it's important to address things in the chart. And we made sense out of why it actually makes sense that we won't go down to that area, right? It actually makes a lot of sense that we don't go down that area. But we also made sense out of why. There are indicators that show that as a possibility. And we have to accept that. If you don't accept that and it happens, you're going to be wrecked. And if we happened to get the blessing of a drop down to $70,000 for Bitcoin, you guys, that's a blessing. You have an opportunity to go get a loan. You've got an opportunity to buy some crypto at very cheap prices. The bull market's not over. Absolutely not. And if that were to happen, okay, we might have a little bit of a correction, a little bit of a recession in the bull market, but that means it's going to continue into 2027. That would actually be the best thing to prolong this bull market. But that's not going to happen, right? And again, I'm clearing the air here because I think a lot of people misunderstand. I'm not bearish on this bull market. I'm very much. Some people are saying, "Oh, C-Zar thinks the top is in now." No, I don't think the top is in. As it's been since the end of 2022, since the beginning of 2023, since I began this channel, really. Would it be? Yeah. Maybe not quite since the beginning of this channel, or around the time that I began this channel. The call has been that this bull market, and the OGs on this channel know, this bull market will not top, and I haven't changed my stance on this until we see a $500,000 price. I've been calling for that for years, and that hasn't changed. If it were to change, if that was the change of perspective, believe me, I would have a much, that would be in the title, that would be a conversation that I would have, that would be very clearly put out there, right? Some people don't have comprehensive capabilities, and it shows with this most recent video that I have, because some people think that I'm bearish on Bitcoin, but we're at $109,000. I'm talking about the price going to prices that are still above $100,000, like less than a $10,000 drop on a $100,000 asset. You think I'm bearish? It's just a momentary dip. It's a momentary drop. And then I talk about lower prices, and people run with their wildest dreams and thoughts and believe that means it's going to happen. I want to clear the air because I don't want people to make the wrong decisions. I haven't sold any of my cryptos. I'm not selling any of my cryptos. Not until we're done with this bull market, and we are certainly not done with this bull market. The reality is there are more implications, more indications that there's more to come in this bull market than there are that this bull market's done. In fact, there's very little in the way of showing that we are anywhere near the end of this bull market. We've had a very tame, very methodical, continuous growth of a bull market, and stagnant at times. It happens. You got to shake out the weak hands. It's the institutional cycle, right? The institution, shout out to Eric Crown. If you guys know who Eric Crown is in crypto, he used to say this all the time. He might still say this. I don't know. I haven't watched his channel as often, but he used to say this all the time in his beginning days on YouTube, that, if you miss the boat, you miss the boat. But if the institutions miss the boat, they bring the boat back. That's what they're doing. They're bringing the boat back. They're loading up on crypto. They're loading up on Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that stuff before we go higher. And we are going higher, right? But the best way to do that People talk about retail hasn't come into the market. Retail's in the market. Oh yeah, there's a lot of fresh green retail investors in the market right now, and the institutions know that. So they're going to shake you out. They're going to bring the price down to a level where they have OGs, where they have prominent figures in the crypto space saying, that's it. It's the end of the bull market. We're all screwed. We're going down. And something that we've all been aware of, something that a lot of OGs have been talking about, myself included, throughout this whole cycle, is that the biggest mistake that people will make is that they're going to sell too early. It takes one cycle. It just takes one cycle. Whoever you are out there, if this is your first cycle, you don't know. If it's your second cycle, you know better. If it's your third cycle, you don't care because, or fourth cycle, fifth cycle, you don't care because you know it's coming. But after your first cycle, you sit through this bearishness, you sit through that moment, that pinnacle moment, that crucible moment where it seems like you were wrong. Everything that you believed in was wrong. Why am I invested in crypto? I should just take my money and run. It's going to zero. As soon as that happens, that's when the finale phase kicks in. And then instant, you think you have remorse for buying whatever high of whatever altcoin or crypto you bought now. Wait till the alt season kicks in. Wait until the bull market, the finale phase really kicks in. That remorse will stick with you forever. And that was my first cycle. I learned my lesson there. Some people never get that remorse. Some people just hold through the pain, even if it is their first cycle. They hold through, and they still learn from that concern, from that insecurity that the bull market's not going to happen, or that they made the wrong choice. And some people just have conviction. Even if it is their first cycle, they just have conviction. They don't care. Go lower. Let me buy more. They have that in them, and that's great. But it takes one moment where you believe without a shadow of a doubt that the bull market's over, and you were wrong. It just takes one of those moments, which we're in right now, for you to never ever doubt the bull market again. And we are so far from the end of the bull market, you guys. I've been starting to really think that this bull market continues into 2026 deeper than I originally thought. I really do believe that we're going to see Q2. It could continue into Q3. We're nowhere near the end of it. Bitcoin's not done. We're not done growing until we're at $500,000, and that's the end of that. So I wanted to clear that up because, you know, I can see where people get the wrong idea from my last video, but at the same time, if you listen to the words that I'm saying, it shouldn't be confusing at all, right? So trying to make it as clear as I can here. C-Zar is very much bullish on Bitcoin. We're at $109,000 now. What's the price right now? We're at let's see, $108.9 thousand. Calling for the price to go here, right? Somewhere between, let's say, like here and here, okay? Calling for the price to do that on our way to riches and glory later this year and into next year. I hope you understand, right? I have to keep zooming out. I hope you understand that I'm very much not bearish. I'm very much bullish on Bitcoin and the rest of crypto. I haven't sold a single drop. I don't plan on selling a drop. And if we get some kind of fantastic dump down to 71K, oh man, I'm going to be buying as much as I possibly can. I will sell all my worldly possessions. I will live in a freaking box because that's the best time to buy. But we're not going to get down there. We're not going to get down there. There's more sense to be made. And if you want to understand why I don't think we're going down there, watch the video. I'll post a link. I'll pin a link in the comment here on this video if you want to watch that video. But hopefully the message is understood. So I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Persevere, man. Persevere. If this is your second or third cycle, you probably don't need this message as much as the people in the first cycle. But we all kind of need a little reminder at times. The hard times build tough men, right? Or women in this market, right? There's plenty of females in this market too. Shout out to the ladies. Soft times build soft people, and we've just had those soft times. We've had those new all-time highs, exciting times with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, people stepping in, FOMOing in, creates those soft emotions, and then you get shaken out on these low points, right? This is the time to buy, not the time to sell. And I really wouldn't be surprised in the least if by the time this FOMC meeting happens, by the time interest rates cuts, that's whenever we hit the low. People are anticipating that these interest rates cutting are going to be negative for the price action. So my thoughts are the price action is going to front run that expectation. Normally we buy the hype and we sell the news. This might be a sell the hype, buy the news moment. Once the rate cuts come out, mark my words, maybe on that day we have a little dip, a little flash crash just in that anticipation, maybe not. Mark my words, the market's going to shift to the upside after that. And September is going to be a green month. It's not going to be a red month. That's the absolute truth, okay? Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. And maybe it's going to be a neutral month, you know, like if it's down 1%, whatever. It's not going to be a bloodbath. Maybe I should say that. September's not going to be a bloodbath. Anybody think it's going to be a bloodbath? you'll be proven wrong, and it just takes time. But I would consider a neutral month anything that's like 10% or less, right? Or even if you don't like that, 8% or less. If it takes a whole month and Bitcoin can't even move 8% in one direction, that's a neutral month, okay? I'm done. Bye-bye.